AM and FM.
WOON, Woon Soccer.
Hi there, it's Coffee Ann here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. I don't know what happened to the intro. It was there. I guess I could sing it, but I'm not going to. No. Good morning, everyone. Joe Callahan here. Bob Lauder's here. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
And Sue Tester McKenzie from the Blackstone Valley Call-in-Times is here. Hi, Sue.
Good morning.
Glad everybody's here, so that's good.
It's a lovely day.
It is, and it's going to get even lovelier. The temperature's going to go up into the low 80s. That'll be nice.
Yes.
Now, Sue came in and said she got a phone call yesterday. The scams of scams tried to scam her.
This
I said, all right,
one
I want to hear about it.
Okay, so basically, and this is a public service announcement. So you need to watch these things. So this one came in as a text.
Okay, so it wasn't a phone call.
No,
it was a text message.
not a phone call.
Okay.
It was a text with what appears to be a flyer. Not a letter, but a flyer
Okay.
with a letter statement inside, if that makes sense.
Sure. Are they looking for money?
Saying,
Yeah.
no.
right.
Well, I didn't click on. But
Okay.
So this one says, congratulations, you've been selected. The Waves of Giving Foundation's annual donation of $500,000 included your phone number. This is news that will change your life. Savor every second of your amazing victory. You earned it. Now, realistically, I've earned it.
Well, that's
okay,
true.
I'm just
I
putting
agree.
that right out there. With the situation that I'm in, which isn't the greatest, isn't the easiest, you see something like this, and your heart stops for a second because you know what? This could really help me, okay?
Right.
But I continued looking at this. First thing I did was I went to search for Waves of Giving, and it is a foundation of giving.
Okay.
It most certainly is. It is legit. I had it verified through all different sources on my phone. So it is a legit foundation. However, this is not a legit thing. It's like they're piggybacking this donation place, this Waves of Giving. The first thing I look at, well, not the first thing, one of the many things is the email address.
Mm-hmm.
The Waves of Giving is a .org.
Okay.
This is a .com.
Okay.
But it's still the wavesofgiving.com. So people can very easily be fooled by this type of an email or a text. Because, especially when you're not for nothing, call it what it is, especially when you're in a position that you could really use help and you think that maybe somebody nominated you for something.
Okay.
I mean, let's be real. But yeah, after continuously reading, researching, looking into everything, these are the things you need to look at. You need to look at the logo. So the Waves of Giving has its own logo. That is not anywhere on this
flyer?
letter or
Okay.
flyer, whatever we want to call it. Because it looks like a flyer, but it's in the form of a letter, if that makes sense. Maybe that was there. And it even includes pictures of people getting checks. For thousands of dollars.
So it looks legitimate.
Yes. So people, a lot of ways you can eliminate certain things like this. One, if somebody is going to win $500,000, you will not get a text.
No?
No, you'll get a phone call, and oftentimes you need it verified. Like they'll say, we'll send you an email, we'll do this, we'll do that. But
Certified letter.
an email address is a sure way
Yeah.
to pinpoint things. Dave and I were talking off air about one that people with iPhones have been getting, which is your iCloud storage is full. If you don't click this button and pay this XYZ, you will lose all your photos. If you click XYZ, you're going to lose a lot more than your photos. Compare the email addresses. iPhone, iCloud, Apple, anything at all that's trying to contact you is not going to have an email that reads ttaylor87@aol.com. So those are the things you really need to look at.
So
Simple thing.
This flyer tells you that you've won.
That I won 500.
So what are they asking you to do to collect your 500,000?
You got to call. I have an agent.
Oh, good.
Mr. Gregory Smith.
Gregory Smith.
With a text number and a claim. They give you a claim code.
All right.
That's not how the organization works.
So they just want you to call them and give them the claim number, and we'll go from here.
Exactly.
All right.
I get very few emails, as you can imagine, but I do get some that say they're coming from the postal service, and they say that
You have to get your mail.
they have been unable to deliver a package to my address.
Yeah, I've got that.
And
one.
they asked me, and I'm thinking, if they can't figure out my address, which is right on a street in a big building, how did they know my email address, which I don't put out to anybody?
Yeah.
The post office is a lot smarter than I may have thought in one regard, and a lot dumber in another.
I get the same kind of ones like from FedEx.
Okay.
And from UPS.
Yeah, you get
Right.
UPS,
Yeah.
FedEx, USPS,
Yeah, we
Amazon.
can't deliver the product.
Those,
I'm like,
those are biggies because a lot of people use delivery
Right.
services. So they automatically think, when I get one of those, it's like, yeah, okay, I ordered something, I didn't. So,
I haven't
but
ordered anything.
too many people are ordering, not too many, let me rephrase that.
Ordering a
so
lot.
many people are ordering things through Amazon or different
almost every
sites.
day.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they get an
notice like
email,
that.
a notice, a text, it doesn't matter what it is, that says, we can't deliver your package because this doesn't match, they get nervous, so that's why they go to it, because they know they're expecting a
Right.
package.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting anything, I'm not expecting anything, but they're preying
people
on
are.
the fact that,
You are.
how many percent are, so they're preying.
85? It's going to be pretty
Yeah.
high.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I do get the notices that say if I don't make my monthly car payment on my new Studebaker, they're going to come and repossess it.
Well, come and get it. Have you gotten the ones where it said if you don't pay us, we're going to come down and arrest you?
Oh, that
Really?
one was a long time ago. That was
Yeah.
from National Grid. And sadly, I had literally just hung up with National Grid to pay my bill when I got that call. And they were
Yeah?
going to,
Wow.
we're coming down, we're shutting your power, we're doing it. And I called, but the other issue is, especially medical, National Grid back in the day, I don't know if it's still that because I haven't gotten a call from Rhode Island Energy, but back in the day, if National Grid called you, I would get a lot of calls from them because when my husband first came home, he was listed as a person on life support.
Mm-hmm.
So when the power, if we're having bad weather coming or, wind, snow,
Right.
Whatever, I would get a phone call. And they would pop up as a spam.
Oh, wow.
So they weren't, obviously. They're calling to say, hey, we have a snowstorm coming. Take the necessary
prepared, yeah.
measures. So a lot of people won't answer a spam call, and sometimes it's a medical facility and or place like National. And I make sure I always tell them, you come up as spam on my phone. They're like, what? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
But I remember asking Chief Oates and before that Chief Carey
Yep.
here in Woonsocket, how many times have you called someone ahead of time saying, hey, we're coming down to arrest you? That would be 0. Both of them. That's none. We never give them a head start just to make it more challenging to get you. Funny stuff. Okay.
Right? That is. I like that one.
All right. From the what's going on here department, why are they so interested? Why do they really care? What's the story behind the story? And I don't know the story behind the story. But the Newport Creamery in Garden City and Cranston is going to close in a year and a half, end of December of 2026. The owners of Garden City are not renewing their lease. We're going away. They're making, according to people that go there, they've made major changes there. And I guess they're trying to be a little more upscale.
Yep.
And they don't want a Newport Creamery there. Okay, that's their prerogative, correct?
We're not
Yes.
going to say this is awful, are we?
No, that's a poor joke.
Oh, rats.
But
He
now,
was saving that for you, Bob.
the state representative, Charlene Lima, of Cranston and City Councilor Andy Andujar of Cranston have both said they will use any means necessary to stop them from closing the Newport Creamery. I don't understand why this is so important.
First of all, is that lady the one with dark hair?
Oh, I don't know what she looks like.
Okay, so there was one on the news last night, and I think it's her, that could care less if they close. She didn't say it as
Quite like that?
quite bluntly.
All right.
We want a new Apple store, bring more revenue into the community, and so on. Who's the person's name? Let me Google her and get the
Charlene
image.
Lima, Lima.
I'll look it up and see.
Well,
if it's her.
they're saying here that we need to stop. We need to keep Newport Creamery in Garden City. Now, first of all, the Garden City people. I'm sorry, the Newport Creamery people, who's owned by.
That's her.
It is her. Okay. And who also owns all the Burger King franchises in Rhode Island and in southeastern Massachusetts. Mr. Nicholas Janicki's. He's got more money than God. All right. They're looking for another place in Cranston. They're just going to go someplace else.
Right.
So I don't know what the big deal is and why the politicians are getting involved between two businesses.
I
Well,
have no idea.
I don't
Other than
either.
Me either.
They may speculate that if the Newport Creamery doesn't retain its lease in that particular location, that they'll leave entirely. But from an article
well.
that I had read this morning, it sounded as though Newport Creamery was saying, we've tried to negotiate with the owners of Garden City,
Yeah.
but we're also looking around for another
location.
location. So if we are not able to finalize a continuance of the lease, then we'll still be in this area.
Yeah, okay, fine. I don't know what the big deal is and why they're getting involved or why they have to be in Garden City. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Now there's only 10 Newport Creameries left in the state.
Oh, wow.
I think the closest one is Smithfield,
Yeah, Greenville, Smithfield.
right on Route 44.
Yeah.
So if you want your awful
Because I
Bob,
don't
you-
think the Newport one is there anymore either.
in
Go
Newport.
figure.
Wow, I don't know. So I just
I
don't,
don't
know
think
why.
it is.
So she wants more businesses coming to Garden City. Well, obviously she wants
and now
that.
that you've said what you said,
Yeah.
maybe she wants Newport Creamery to stay and get Apple into another location. First of all, yes, it is a more upscale place.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, there are some stores that are just, your regular. I don't know if Yankee Candle's still there, for example, but they used to be. There were a lot of stores there that more upscale, but they also had some, that
Lower
other
priced.
people, lower price, not
Yeah.
not like a Dollar Tree, but say a Chico's, because Chico's isn't
Okay.
outrageous. They have good sales and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But things along those lines would be considered more upscale, but they have nice sales. They have, quality clothes that's not out of reach to many people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Joseph A. Bank is up there. They
Okay.
moved from one place to another. A place I bought my son slippers for Christmas is up there. I can't think of the name.
I just don't know why. You pick your battles, right? And why is this I don't understand why this
I
is
don't
a
know.
battle.
It looks nice. It fits the spot that it's in.
The Newport Creamery?
Yeah, it does. It's really cute. Because
Okay.
it's not, have you been to Garden City?
Not in a long time.
Garden City's kind of odd in the sense of you can't get there from here. All right? I mean,
Great.
I don't know how else to say
Here
it.
we are, but don't come.
Yeah, it's odd because
It's just tough to get to.
it's tough to get in, tough to get out, but there are many stores around it. Garden City used to have, that was part of the area of Burlington. So Burlington Coat Factory, again, supposedly, better quality clothes, much at discount prices, okay? They moved over to Rhode Island Mall, I believe.
All right.
I know
Well,
it's
that's out of
in
Cranston,
Warwick.
then. All
It's
right.
out of Cranston. It's in Warwick. But at the same token, they didn't want Burlington Coat Factory there. They would have rather have a Joseph A. Bank
Thanks,
there
'cause it's more upscale.
because they're looking for the upscale.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. Well, that's what's going on in
been-
Cranston. We don't have to worry about it here. But I'm
I
just
haven't been
like-
shopping since W.T. Grant closed.
Wow, good one, Bob.
I used to like that place though.
Have you been to Woolworths lately? it's good stuff over there. All right, more coffee ends coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
WOON Radio.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777 or biglou.com.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Worldwide.
All right, Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with Bob Lauder and Sue Tester McKenzie. And Sue, time for our first message from the Blackstone Valley Call-in Times.
Good morning, everybody. So I had mentioned last week on the radio that we weren't going to have a paper August 11th because it's a state holiday, whatever. We don't have a paper on Monday, so we have nothing to worry about there.
Okay.
I just wanted to point that
That's
out so I
right,
didn't
yeah.
confuse people. But as the local sales rep, we are getting ready to do our Community Choice Awards. It starts with the nominations. So people get confused with the nominations. You have to get more than one nomination. So if you nominate yourself, you may or may not be part of the contest. The more nominations you have, the better off you are. Top of mind awareness is extremely important in that. So I, as the advertising rep, we've got some specials running coming up starting August 11th through August 31st. Got some great value packages for those small businesses in the area that would like to get a jump on those nominations and voting and potentially win the Best in Business. So you can give me a call on my cell phone at 401-487-4136.
All right, Sue, very good. Bob, I don't know if you heard the story yesterday, but we talked about it last week. The public defenders up in Massachusetts,
Yes.
cases are being dismissed because they're like, we got way too much work and we're not getting paid enough. Maura Healey signed emergency legislation or whatever she signed. They all immediately got a $10 an hour raise
Great.
right off the bat. Next year, another $10 an hour raise
Good.
in 2026. They wanted more money.
Come on.
Well, when they initially went forward, I'm not sure how much they actually asked for, but it wasn't $20. And so they didn't know if they were actually going to even come back to work, even with this nice bump in salary.
Well, I think a lot of it depends on what was the initial salary they were getting before they got the raise.
I don't know.
Because if it was very low, even with that generous raise, it might still be low.
Could be. And so what do you see, Sue?
No, I'm sorry. I'll get back to Maura Healey. So, I just got a text from our son, Alex. He said, you're on the radio talking about scams, and I just got this. Literally just got this. Literally, like, as we were talking.
Okay.
And it says, hello, we're the Indeed team, and we'd like you to invite you to join us. No experience is required, and we provide comprehensive training, whether you're looking for part-time or full-time work. You know, that's the other one that I
the
get.
jobs.
That's another new one is
Yeah.
Indeed, and what's the other recruiter? There's
Zip
another
Recruiter?
one. Zip Recruiter, I get all of those too.
I get some
But
of those
again,
that compliment me on my skills with the computer.
Oh, which is
Oh, really?
minimal at best, right?
I can turn it on.
That's a
That's
skill.
about it.
We gotta start somewhere, Bob. Right? So yeah, they didn't say how much the bar, and I don't know why they're called bar advocates and not just public defender. Do you any idea why Mass uses that terminology?
Not really.
Bar
but-
advocates.
yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, so they were offered that money, but there was no word yesterday whether or not they were going to accept it or turn it down.
that's
But
what they call them, no bar
advocates.
advocates.
Yeah. So things kind of stay the same up there in Massachusetts, and cases are just being dismissed because the lawyers are not showing up. So.
Well, as I said last week, I doubt they're being dismissed because that would be we're dropping the charges against the individual. I would expect they're being continued without taking action on them. I wouldn't think that the court would say, okay, because you don't have a lawyer, your charges of assault and battery are being thrown out, and you can free
Okay,
to go.
maybe just I'm hearing released. Is that a
Released
better,
is different.
Okay.
Released is released from custody. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Released on bail. Yes. But
Okay.
Not
but not dismissed. Okay. So
I want to
what'd
be
you
a
find?
bar advocate.
Okay, good.
Why?
Holy
How
cow.
much the money they make? Time to
What?
change professions.
In Massachusetts, bar advocates who represent indignant defendants in criminal and juvenile cases
Yep.
are currently paid $65 per hour.
Okay, so that means they're going to bump up to 75.
No, you said 20. Well, yeah. Right
Well,
now
70,
it would be
75 right now, and then
yeah.
next year it'll go to 85.
But hold on. This is where the problem is.
All right.
This rate is lower than the hourly pay for similar roles in other New England states,
Well, there you go. That's
where
that's what they want.
advocates can earn over $100 per hour. A recent protest was held by bar advocates at the
Yep.
State House. Yep.
Should have
Yeah.
gone to law school.
Right?
Should've been
Darn
like
right.
Bob.
Let's see, $100 an hour, 40 hours a
Yeah,
week.
do the math,
Yeah,
Bob.
that's
Just do the
40,000.
math.
Wow, times
Times
52.
Okay.
Wow,
Bob, Bob's like, yeah, maybe I should rethink this.
starting to add up.
Definitely rethink this.
Well, that's what they're dealing with there and up in Massachusetts.
One or two of us actually do pro bono work. You know, there's a volunteer lawyer portion of the Bar Association that says if you're indigent and cannot get assistance legally, these are the lawyers who will do it for free.
Free, okay.
Yeah.
The nice guys, the nice ones. yeah.
But are they
Some of
limited
us-
to
well-
so many? Like,
No, there's
many
any
pro
lawyer
bono-
can volunteer, and I have done that in the past.
So there's
yes.
no cap. You know, I've done 10 pro bono
no,
cases
no.
this year. I can't do any more. There's no cap.
The
like
only
that.
time I would turn them down is if either I can't do the kind of work,
Yeah.
criminal cases or something, a malpractice case or something like that, or I have too much time, too much work going on right now. But no, my office has taken pro bono cases from the
Okay.
volunteer lawyer. Yes, and you're usually interesting people.
Okay.
I think people. I mean, I think that's like a restaurant that donates food to a homeless
Homeless?
pantry.
Yeah.
I think doing that, it's almost like expected. Like, hey, maybe they'll help me. Maybe my case is good with they think they'll win and be able to help me. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people are in that position and can't afford a lawyer,
Right.
and are wronged and need to be righted. Does that
All right, on to another subject. Dave had this story this morning. Rhode Island transit riders that ride RIPTA all got together down at Kennedy Plaza to voice their opposition to the proposed RIPTA bus cut services because they don't have any money. Demonstrators are calling for Governor Dan McKee to allocate an additional $10 million to maintain the existing service levels. RIPTA's proposed cut would change or eliminate 58 of its 63 routes, including up here in Woonsocket. RIPTA's board of directors is scheduled to meet today. I don't know what they're going to talk about because they've
the
already,
whole
they've already
route
come out
or
and said
just
Eliminate 58 out of 63?
change or eliminate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And most of it's going to be change.
All right.
But I heard 9 routes, but I'm not sure where they are will be eliminated.
like anything else, though. Again, if you're not supporting that, just like us. Okay, we quit Monday paper because the advertising side of things, as in its circulation side of things, weren't supporting it. So if you have bus routes that aren't being supported, that you're picking up one person every few days, but not consistently,
But RIPTA doesn't talk about ridership is low, and that's why they want to do this. They just talk about their operating costs are
well, that
high,
falls into
and
play. If you're,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, again,
I brought this up the other day. We'll get your thoughts on this. How about we just privatize this whole thing and throw RIPTA out?
Well, if I recall correctly, RIPTA was a result of the private
it's a
businesses.
quasi-private,
United
right?
Bus Line, United Transit Company used to be in Woonsocket back in the 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
and they were not financially viable, and they were going out of business, and the state took them over as part of the RIPTA scheme. I doubt if it's going to be easy to privatize the present transportation system
Yeah.
and have private owners come in and say, okay, we'll take over these particular lines.
I don't think so either, based on
Right.
what you just said, Bob, and I never knew that, so I just learned something today. Because you have to be able to support it, and you're not going to be going to the state for funding and grants, if that
Right.
be the case.
All right. 'Cause I brought it up on Tuesday with Ed Crew, so I'm like, I'm talking with Bob now. I said, Ed, you should, Ed's bus line. So how about you and get together with Ed Carew, and we'll call it Bob and Ed's bus
Okay.
line, and,
Yep.
and start the whole thing.
We're going to be driving the buses on our own, probably, because I don't think we can afford to hire anybody.
Got a note in. Dave sent me a note. The RIPTA meeting today, which is going to, when they get together, the board, they're going to vote to make the proposed cuts permanent. That's why they're meeting today. And then they will all take effect on September 13th. It's a done deal.
That's
basically.
That's quick.
And the governor's not going to give them $10 million.
No.
Doesn't have $10 million to give them.
It's just so, unfortunate because, like everything else, everything's going up, everything's increasing. Well, guess what? RIPTA is affected by it, too. However, your cuts then trickle down to those that need the buses maybe to get to work. So now you get another, what I mean? It's very unfortunate, too.
It is, and it screws up everybody's schedule.
Right.
And now you got to get a bus earlier, and now you're just hanging around for hours waiting for a bus.
Yeah.
It's not good all the way around, and I can understand why people are rallying against it, but I don't see any change coming. I don't think RIPTA is going to make any
Right.
changes
What
other
is-
than the ones they want to make.
What is the cost of actually riding on a RIPTA bus right now? I have no idea.
I think Dave told me
Ah.
it's like
Wait, Sue is doing research.
look it up, but I think I know it off the top of my head. $2 a ride. If you want to
Oh.
get into Providence, $2 down and $2 back. So
Right.
Now Bob's going to rethink how he gets to it from work.
Darn right. I mean, the parking in Providence costs much more than that.
Well,
Right?
well, that's right. So if you want to walk around Providence, so there you go. So, well, so that's what is going on there. Bob, we're probably going to disagree on this one. Ready?
Yep, you're
Really?
correct.
Right? $2?
Yep.
$2 there, $2
1
back.
hour of unlimited rides with the wave system.
Oh, well, all right. There you
You can
go.
also purchase a day pass for $6, which allows unlimited rides.
Just ride the bus all
until
day.
2 a.m. Well, I don't know. Maybe if you're going, in other words, you can pay $6, get to where you're going. Does that cover you to get back? It's not listing.
Sounds like it
as
would,
That.
yeah.
It says unlimited ride, so maybe that's
Okay.
You know.
All right. There's a bill in Massachusetts, Bob, and they want to prohibit law enforcement agents, including ICE agents, from wearing masks. I don't agree with this. Mostly from just police officers always go undercover to try to catch the bad guys or get information. And their true identity should not be compromised, or else they won't get the information they're looking for.
But if I understand correctly, with police officers who go undercover, they're not usually wearing masks while they're undercover. They're assuming a fictitious identity which will encourage the suspected criminals of confiding in them and maybe even incorporating them into their nefarious acts so that they can get evidence against the criminals. But
Okay.
ICE agents going out and wearing masks seems to be twofold. One is it's pretty terrifying to have somebody apprehended when they're wearing a mask because it's just not part of our normal culture. And secondly, they seem to think that by wearing the masks, there will not be personal attacks made against the ICE officials because no one knows exactly who they are. But
Right.
I find the wearing of the masks to be more intimidating and not in keeping with what this country has done in the past with regard to how we enforce our laws. I mean, the Woonsocket police don't wear masks during the daytime when they're out on patrol.
No,
They
but
don't
when they
wear-
go apprehend somebody, they might.
I would
Gonna,
doubt
like
if the,
bust down their door or
I
something
would
like
doubt
that.
if the well, we can talk to the police chief the next time he's on. But I would doubt that the Woonsocket police, when they're apprehending somebody on a warrant or even responding to a emergency call which is a bank robbery or something like that, they're not going to be donning masks before they go into the bank to try and apprehend the criminal. The only time that their identity would probably be in some way concealed is if they are undercover, and at that point, they're not wearing a mask to conceal their identity. They're wearing a different persona, different style of dress, different style of hair, probably using a different name, acting in a different manner from a regular police officer to try and encourage the suspected criminal of confiding in them. I don't think they're not cutting out masks from the back of the cereal boxes anymore and wearing those.
No.
So what's
Told you
your
we
thought?
disagree
I'm
on
curious
this.
what your thought. What's your? Because I now.
Oh no, I'm okay with them wearing masks.
So
Yeah.
another potential
To protect
reason.
them.
Now, well, yes, especially with everything that goes on now, and keeping in mind that and I use air quotes on this, that the purpose of the ICE agents is to get the people that the bad guys,
yeah.
cartels and so on, out of the country. So therefore, you would need a mask under those circumstances, because that's again, my air quotes are, the purpose is to get the bad guys out. So maybe that's the purpose of wearing. I mean, I'm curious, have ICE agents always had to wear masks, or is this something new?
Well, I think they've always have.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, that's the purpose. So if they're dealing with these type of people, just like I guarantee if you go to one of these, I'll call it a high-end raid, anywhere, those people at 3 o'clock in the morning that are raiding a house, that are using that, what is that thing that breaks down the doors?
Battering ram.
The battering ram and all that, they're wearing masks.
All right. On that note, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program. I told you Bob and I wouldn't be on opposite sides of this.
And I'm not saying I disagree. I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
It is quite intimidating. You
Of
have
course.
a mother and children that.
Oh, yeah, it's gotta be scary.
I mean, yes, I get it.
Sue can Google this and find out, but when was the last time we ever agreed on anything?
Okay, I can tell you that.
We-
you agreed with me.
No.
You
Oh,
and
you
I
agreed.
pretty much
Yeah.
agree.
I agree with Sue a lot.
Bob and I agree that we like Jimmy Buffett music.
Okay, and
Yes.
and I will also say that whether you two agree or not, I can always see both sides of the
Oh,
coin
that's
and have
good.
my own opinion.
So, speaking of your own opinion, it's time for a second message from
Oh,
the
for
Black,
God's sake,
Black
I
Dog
did.
Alcohol at Times.
I made up the first one as
Well,
I
make it
went
up again.
along here. Okay, so yes, as I said, we are getting ready for the community choice. It runs through the September, with the winners announced in October. And I know that sounds like forever away. So we do August for the nominations, September for the voting, and October for the winners section. I have a lot on my plate as far as the number of accounts that I have to see. So if you are not seen by me and you'd like to get more information, even if it's just to get more information, not even advertise, but know a little bit more about it, you can call my cell phone, 401-487-4136.
Very good, Sue. Time for a break. Time for a look at the forecast right now, being brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Gradual clearing today with a high near 80 degrees and a calm wind. Tonight, clear skies, overnight low of 54. Friday's weather, sunshine and 82 with a calm wind. Saturday, sunshine and 84. Sunday, sunshine and 88. Monday, sunny and hot with a high near 91. Tuesday, sunny and hot, high near 91 again. And on Wednesday, mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we do have cloudy skies and a temperature reading of 67 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 87-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
When it comes to heating and air conditioning, Kafin Oil believes in covering all the bases. Whether you're a customer or not, they'll give you a time estimate for response, and they'll be there. Dealing with contractors can sometimes be an adventure, but their experienced technicians will assess the problem and explain what should be done. Kafin Oil is local, dependable, and experienced. Keep the number handy, 765-3881. Kafin Oil, for heating and air conditioning.
ON Radio.
Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with Sue Tesser McKenzie and Bob Lauder. Bob, time for our first message from your law office.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. Today I'm dusting off a couple of older commercials, each of which has a location close to my heart. The first case goes back 98 years to 1927 and involves Child's Restaurant in Providence. Now, the reason Child's has a personal affinity for me, and it was not because I was there in 1927, is because one time, when I was sitting in the restaurant with my parents and my younger brother, I convinced my younger brother to blow a police whistle that he had brought with him. This, of course, caused consternation among the patrons, and I was severely reprimanded. But it's still a fond memory of a troublemaking older brother. The case, however, is known as Heaton versus Child's Company of Providence. In 1927, there was a hatchway in the sidewalk outside the restaurant, which provided access to the cellar of the structure. Operation of the hatchway was limited to those employees of the defendant which had access to the cellar. On the morning of September 3rd, 1925, at 5:45 a.m., daylight savings time, just after the streetlights had been extinguished, Mrs. Heaton was walking along Westminster Street sidewalk outside of the restaurant when she tripped over the trapdoors of the hatchway, which had been left about 2 to 3 inches above the surface of the sidewalk. She fell, was injured, and sued the restaurant. The restaurant defended the case, claiming that unless Mrs. Heaton could establish who was responsible for leaving the hatchway improperly closed, it was not responsible for the accident and her injuries. The Rhode Island Supreme Court disagreed. The court ruled that the defendant was prima facie bound to guard the hatchway, and that unless the defendant could prove that someone else was using the hatchway or meddling with the hatchway and had left it open, the defendant would be liable for the injuries resulting from the presence of the hatchway. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. And if you get arrested for blowing a police whistle in a crowded restaurant, you're going to need a lawyer better than me, because I lost that argument with my parents and I suffered the consequences.
No dessert for you that night.
It was still fun, though.
Oh, I bet.
Get your brother in trouble? Sure.
Did you go with, I don't know what he's talking about. He blew the whistle. I don't know why he's blaming me. And I agree with the court on that one. It's the restaurant's fault. I mean, someone had to close it, and they didn't close it right. So it's just the way it goes. All right. So I just want to bring this up. I've been asking the panelists throughout the week, because on Monday it was the anniversary of Lizzie Borden's parents getting found dead.
1892.
Yes. And so you're a lawyer, Bob. Did she do it or did she not do it?
Well, she went to a trial.
She was acquitted.
And she was acquitted by 12 people on the jury. Do I think she did it? Well, the number of logical suspects is pretty small.
There's like 4.
There was Bridget, the maid who was in the house.
Yeah.
There was the uncle who was visiting from Fairhaven.
I think there's another sister, too.
There's another sister, right.
Yeah.
But it looks very much as though Lizzie was actually the one who did it. Yes.
Pretty good defense, though, by the lawyers at the time.
Oh, yes.
That's
very good.
That got her acquitted.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
That wouldn't happen today.
Well, no, the police work back there was completely different than what it's like today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's, it's mind-boggling to think of the
what was allowed?
The technology
and
the everything. I mean, Now you can walk into a room with one of those black lights and see the blood everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, could you do that then? No.
No.
You know, so you'd be able to pick up blood under a freaking fingernail, you know.
You know, back then it was like, wow, a couple of bloody murders. Everybody come in and take a look.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
oh,
traipse
yeah.
around and,
Well,
and
those
ruin
pictures, like I think I mentioned this not that long ago on the radio, that
Mm.
years ago, I hate to use the word bodies, but I'm gonna, you know, like cemetery, we had floods and such.
Yeah.
You know, and bodies, you could take a picture and put them in the paper.
Oh, right.
You can't do that anymore.
Right.
You know, obviously you can't. You wouldn't do it on the news. You wouldn't do it in print or anything like that. But so years ago was completely different.
I love how I don't love it, but you know what TV stations do now. Whenever like a child gets hit by a car, and you know, we just had that happen in Woonsocket a few months ago. And so what the TV stations do, they go and they photograph like a small shoe
Yes.
to get you to, and let your mind put the whole thing together.
Right.
Kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's without showing the body.
Yeah.
By the way,
Do you
Bob,
think she did it?
conspiracy, her and the maid. Because
She and the
they had a thing going on. and you couldn't, boy, you really didn't talk about it back then. But yeah.
I haven't heard that conspiracy.
Oh yes. So did she? I think the maid did it, and Lizzie covered it up, but she wanted it done. There was a lot of friction between her and her father and the stepmother, and she was going to get a lot of money if they had perished, and she got a lot of money. They were loaded with the Bordens.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think it was a conspiracy between the two of them. So there you go. All right.
I haven't heard that one before. I'll have to
Well, use that
give
one.
that
okay?
one more thought.
I didn't hear that one either.
No conspiracy. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we had a shooting in at that camp in Georgia yesterday at a military
Yes.
camp. 5 soldiers. None of them died.
No, and they're
Great.
supposed to make a good recovery.
All recovering at the Fort Stewart shooting in Georgia. The suspected gunman, an active duty military member, not someone that just walked off the street.
Right.
Someone that was there. He was taken into custody following yesterday's attacks. Sergeant Cornelius, I've never seen it spelled Q-U, but Cornelius Radford was stationed at the base, ended up being subdued by other soldiers, and they're saying it's believed he used his own personal handgun and not an Army-issued weapon.
I would
Wow.
imagine there was some type of serious conflict between he and the 5 soldiers. I don't think it was just going in and randomly shooting 5 soldiers.
Have you heard
think
that,
it was-
Sue? Were these people targeted?
I would
I
suspect
have
it
not
might-
heard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have not heard either way on that. But I would think if there was, like you mentioned, targeted, that something bigger was taking place that nobody really paid attention to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And
I guess
you
that'll
know,
come out.
Yeah.
Did you even know this guy that shot you? And maybe they were targeted, but I just haven't. Well, no one from the Army has come out and
like
Right.
to say that.
yeah, it's not like you hear these things about schools, sadly, and oftentimes
with the
it's-
list.
they were targeted because of how they treated that individual, or whatever the case is.
All right. Well, it's no secret. There's a bit of a rat problem in Boston. Some woman just got bit the other day.
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah, she was near Fenway. And she
Really?
got bit, yeah. So the Boston City Council has approved ordinances designed they're going to address the growing rat population. The council voted yesterday to create an Office of Pest Control, creating an official entity to address the rodent problem. The panel also approved a measure that would introduce rat-resistant trash bins in some Boston neighborhoods. Counselor up in Boston, Ed Flynn, says this is an issue that's critical to the city. It's a public health and public safety crisis.
Wow. All right.
Just gonna be on the lookout. I don't know how you get rid of them, and I've seen stories up in Boston where
Yeah.
they constantly call in the pest control companies, and then everything's good for a day, maybe 2,
Right.
and then they're back.
Well,
like, wow.
when you talk about the trash receptacles, anywhere you go, I don't care what city or town you're in, you see a restaurant, for example, with those big trash things out back.
Yep.
Those things are not consistently open and closed. they stay open.
Yeah.
And maybe they close them at night, but they're not consistently closed. And take Boston. How many of those do you got floating around? So there's always something to come back to.
Well, I haven't been noticed it in Boston so much, but on trips to New York, I've seen large piles of garbage and
Yeah.
trash on the sidewalks outside buildings.
Exactly.
Well, that's happening.
Plastic bags and things like that, and you know that's
And
a
over
feeding ground
there,
for vermin.
you're right. And over there, and like here, we have receptacles to put things in. In New York, for example, they may have their receptacles out back, but they don't have the garbage trucks. Back it in
Right.
and empty it, so they have to put all their stuff in. That's a breeding ground.
yes.
Yeah, that's
And
gross.
plus, Republic Services is on strike outside the Boston area, so they might, and probably in Boston too. So there's probably growing piles of trash on the
It's
street
just
as well.
Public defenders are not defending the rats.
Republic Services,
Oh, I'm sorry. I think,
different company.
oh, okay. When you said on strike, I was thinking, okay, we do represent people who might be considered that by others, but that's not.
Garbage.
Well, Nantucket is not immune to this bomb threat on the island. How about that?
What?
I didn't hear that.
Bomb threat on Nantucket was false, and that's the reason it was on Main Street on Nantucket. It was shut down. I guess that's the name of the business. Was shut down around 7:30 last night. Police responded to a report of an improvised explosive device in an SUV. Businesses and streets in the area were evacuated. State Police bomb squad arrived a few hours later, and a search found no indication of an explosive device. Well, yeah, they got to get on a helicopter at
But
least.
this was
to get over there.
in an SUV?
Someone reported it. It looks like an explosive device inside a car, a vehicle. Yeah. And so, okay, stop everything and evacuate the streets just in case it blows up. And if you're
Now-
going to get the bomb squad down out of Boston, they got to get on an airplane or a helicopter. Boat's going to be too slow.
With the general attitude of the population on Nantucket, they probably thought it was a confetti bomb.
Maybe. At least, except one person didn't think so. So, all right.
Jeez, okay.
Maynard, Massachusetts. 2 women accused of running a prostitution ring, facing charges. Week-long investigation. Officers on with a search warrant. Seized evidence from. It's always these kind of places. The Asian Spa on Main Street.
I told you.
Yeah, but what's weird is the suspects.
Mm-hmm.
One's 57, and one's 68.
Hey,
All right.
we still have an interest.
I don't know if you want to answer this question, Bob,
Probably
Okay,
not.
Hold on, hold on.
but probably
hold on.
not.
Please tell me that wasn't a segue into the next question for Bob.
If a man like like Robert Kraft
Yeah.
got caught at the
I knew
at
he
the-
was
at the
going to
thing.
come
Okay.
into this convo.
Okay, but the prostitute, they weren't 50 and 60 years old. They were younger.
Yeah.
So who
I'm
Are
watching
using-
you choosing your
I know,
words
it's so-
very carefully. I'm
who's
liking this. Go ahead, Bob.
choosing these women? Is it price? Is
Hold on. Okay, wait, wait,
just
wait,
because
wait.
our bodies are old doesn't mean our minds are old.
But you
I
just
mean,
lost
no,
me for
Bob.
1
You're
We're still
second.
thinking like we were younger.
You lost me for 1 second. So older men going to these places,
yeah.
but the women are much younger.
No. The other way around. If it's an older man
Yeah,
in his 60s, let's say,
yeah.
why is he choosing a woman prostitute that's in her late 60s? Why wouldn't he go for someone younger? That's the question I'm asking.
Okay, because you totally had me confused. I
Well, I'm
thought you
trying
were
to-
asking why are they going for a younger woman if they're this age, and I'm like, I'm missing
No.
something.
I would think
Well-
that
You understand the question now, Bob?
I understand the question,
Okay.
but I also think that if you were availing yourself of these kind of offers, you might not just be acting on the idea of appearance, but also on the idea of this is somebody who's fun to talk to and nice to be with, and I really enjoy being with them, and they seem to enjoy being with me, and it's
Wow.
Bob,
it's
just
not-
for the record, he didn't know that yet. He didn't know she had a nice person.
I'm going to actually go out on a limb here
Yeah.
and say these two women, by the way, and I'll give you their names.
No, that's okay.
No, this is important.
No, it's not. You don't want to have people calling them up.
It's in the story. The two women, the two suspects, identified 57-year-old Mei-Ying Cheng of Flushing, New York, and 68-year-old Zhang Ping Wu of Malden, Massachusetts. So if you're going to these women for conversation, I can almost guarantee you they don't speak English, except for $50, please, is what they know.
You're going into an area that I have absolutely no experience in.
Thankfully.
It's almost the same
If
thing.
I were to have experience in it, I'd be a dead man.
It's almost the same thing as if you go to the club over here on Front Street, if you go, over to Rhode Island Dolls, you know what? Nobody 57 years old is dancing at that club. The men there are not there to see that kind of woman. They want to see the younger women. I just don't know why they're going to these older women at this Asian spa. Unless it's convenience. I don't know. On that note,
Yes.
thanks, Gary. On that note, then, Bob, second message, please, from your law
Wait,
office.
somebody
Gary
just had to
came in and
step
gave
in
gave
and
the
tell.
best advice we've had all morning.
Move on,
I
move on.
I seldom say
You're going
that
to
about
start
Gary.
trouble.
Whoa. Good morning. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. I'd like to discuss with you this morning a second case, and this one involves the Providence Biltmore Hotel. And as my personal recollection to it, that's where I proposed to my wife in the restaurant on the top floor 41 years ago on Valentine's Day.
What did she say?
Let me think about it.
I'll get back
Were you
to
there? Yes. Okay.
Can we have dessert first? Sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Okay.
This show's going to hell in a handbag.
Oh, it certainly has. The case I'm talking about is Ziegler versus the Providence Biltmore Hotel, and it goes back to 1937. Access to the main lobby from the ground floor is gained by ascending a flight of 20 steps, 10 of them extending from midway to the midway landing, and then 10 more to the main lobby. In September 29th, in 1934, the plaintiff and her husband entered the hotel and ascended the steps to reach the restaurant. It had been raining steadily that afternoon, and they didn't notice any steps being wet upon entering. After dinner, they returned to the stairs, and the plaintiff slipped and fell down the stairs. Mrs. Ziegler said that although she did not notice the stairs to be slippery, no one had advised her of the fact before the accident. The hotel defended the complaint by offering evidence that the stairs had been inspected and cleaned and mopped dry approximately every 15 to 20 minutes, and that the carpeting which usually covered the stairs had been removed at the start of daylight savings time in April and was scheduled to be replaced the day after the accident following the fall race meeting's conclusion. The hotel argued that unless the plaintiff could prove the defendant was negligent, the vital proportions of her testimony and case were based on speculation and assumptions. The Supreme Court agreed with the defendant, citing that there was no evidence to support any improper construction or lack of repair or lack of maintenance or evidence that the stairway was improperly lighted. The mere fact of the fall, without evidence as to the cause of the fall, did not impute liability upon the hotel. If you think my office may be assisting you in legal matters, please call me for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license a certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. And with regard to falls at the Biltmore, well, Jean accepted my proposal.
Oh, great.
So maybe it'd be generous to say that she fell for me.
Not literally, though, right, Bob?
No.
No, okay.
Thankfully not.
All right, more coffee and coming up. Stay tuned.
ON Radio. John Chan's just like the rest of us. He's saying, what, August already? That's right. Tomorrow night, August 1st, it's more award-winning entertainment at Chan's, channeling the harmonies of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young and the instrumentation of Neil Young's backing bands, and performing their interpretations of Neil Young's classic hits and rare gems are the Forever Young tribute to the music of Neil Young tomorrow night, 8 to 10 at Chan's, 25 in advance, 30 at the door. And then on Saturday night, it'll still be August 2nd, and the Daryl Nullish Band will be performing from 8 to 11 p.m. at Chan's. Harmonica master and the distinctive soulful blues singer Daryl Nullish is a 2-time Grammy Award nominee and a key member of the James Cotton Band and Ronnie Earls Band, featuring Dave Lamina on the organ, Chris Viterillo on guitar, and Michael Law on the bass, and Lauren Entres on drums. It's the Daryl Nullish Band Saturday night at Chan's. Plus, they got great food, too, at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining, 267 Main Street in Woonsocket.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
ON Radio.
Alrighty, it is Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Bob Lauder and Sue Tesser McKenzie. We did get a note called in, 7661.
Canceling our
No, it's not. It just says to the panel, especially me, on Joe's last comment, things like that, you never know. So,
You are absolutely right.
and all right. And, I told Bob off the air, back in my younger days, talking to some of the ladies at these places, I actually asked one, I said, how long do you plan to do this? And she said, probably about another 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And by that time, she said, I'm going to be around 30. And there's far more younger girls. New young girls come in every single day. They go, I'm going to be old by then. And the guys are not going to want me. They're going to want to see them. I said, that makes perfect sense.
Unless she has a really good personality and can hold a nice conversation.
Yeah, that's what the guys want. All right, anyway. I don't know why they do this. They do it every year with the NFL on a completely different subject. New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel was bloodied in a training camp scuffle yesterday between players.
I heard
What?
that.
Well, what they do is they bring it. Now, the New England Patriots are going to play the Washington Commanders in a preseason game tomorrow.
Right.
But they bring the team up from Washington so they can practice against each other.
Oh, really?
Yes, I know why they do it, but it's always a dangerous situation because they haven't made cuts yet. So people are trying to make the team. So there's like 100 of Patriots and there's 100 Commanders all there. Guys with a lot of testosterone running and crashing into each other. Fights break out between the two teams all the time. And that's what happened here. A fight between a Patriots player and a Commanders player. And so Mike Vrabel jumped in. Now he's been cut. I'm not sure where. But he tried to break up a confrontation between the players. But they hold joint practices. They did yesterday. They're going to again today. And then they'll play a game on Friday.
Okay.
And I just never thought joint practices was a good idea.
It doesn't sound
It just
good to me.
it's bad enough because I've seen it happen. Patriots players, just them, they fight with each other,
Right.
Because they're trying to make
Because
the team.
they're trying to make right.
But now you bring in another team, you're gonna
Doesn't that
go all
also
out.
sort of destroy your strategic advantages if you're playing the team in a practice ahead of time before your real game? The team, you're going to be able to sort of judge how the team is going to react so that you can take a different offense or a different defense at
I
the
have
time
got
of the
to
game.
give
No.
Bob credit
Well,
on that statement.
It's a good statement.
Considering it's sports,
Yeah,
very
that's
good
right.
statement,
It's,
Bob.
it's
Whoa,
very well
thank you.
it's very
Very
well
good.
thought out.
Very, very good.
But then here's the deal:
Yeah,
the players that start for the Patriots
right.
only play for 5 minutes. And what they really do is they bring in all the other 100 players.
Right.
Okay, you play, you run the same plays to see if you can actually do it. And then they're making decisions of who to keep and who to let go. And then the coaches can change what the plays will be.
All right.
So it's not like you're giving away secrets. All right.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but they're really trying to evaluate who do we want to keep and who do we not want to keep.
So
The
after
thought process was good, Bob.
It was.
I'm giving
It
it,
was.
to you.
It was
I'm
good.
giving it
Thank
to
you.
you.
It's just that the real players, maybe not real players, that's not the right word, but the players that
make the cut.
we're looking for, the players that have already made the cut, the ones we know that are going to start.
All right.
Drake May, the quarterback, he's not getting cut. He's starting. That's the way it is. All right. But it's the other players that are trying to make the team that we're really trying to evaluate. That's what they're looking for during the game. All right.
Great.
All right. Well, this this one's for the record books. So
Oh my
we've
goodness.
wrapped the show up for the day. I hope you don't have to answer a lot of questions from your wife, Bob. If you did, I apologize. I apologize. Okay. Sorry about that.
If you don't see me next week, you'll know.
I know why. Okay, there we go. All right, Bob. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for sandbagging me and destroying my life.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. Sue, thanks for being here as well.
And Sue is now useless,
That's
and
not
old,
true.
No.
and
That's not my
unworthy,
point.
but I can hold a damn good conversation.
There you go. Very good. I'm Joe Callahan. We'll talk again this afternoon at 2. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember coming up after the 9 o'clock news on ON Radio?
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The Kremlin says Russian leader